Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. Go to f2bbs.com. www.f2bbs.com. The last bastion of free speech on the interweb. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury channel. I'm doing a paid review 21QA63. And this here is for Yasmin, and it involves polished versus unpolished. We're talking Rolexes, and this is a really good question there. So Archie, I'm always running back to you for advice, because you are the pontiff. I'm in the market for a Rolex GMT Master 2 116710 LN black. All the pieces I find with reputable dealers in the US or Japan are polished. I found one without box or papers and not polished in Japan. I can easily send it to a service at Rolex and get a service card, but I feel uncomfortable. The question here, what do you think of polished pieces? Yay or nay? Thank you for your continuous support. I love you, Archie. So this was his question here. Very good question. Quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing a Rolex Explorer 2, Polar Explorer 2. Now, okay, so I said to him, look, I'm not so concerned if a piece has had a light polish. It depends on the degree of the polish. If some idiot doesn't know what they're doing and they've grinded the sides down there, well, that's a bit of a worry. Personally, I was saying to him, buy a nice example with box and papers. Papers are far more important than never polished. Some of you people out there might disagree. Put some comments below. Polishing is not the end of the value. Far from it. If done properly, you can hardly ever tell. In fact, I know dealers who give things a light polish and then say, unpolished. So I would not pay ridiculous amounts for so-called unpolished. So many lies here. I've seen this term falsely used. Just get a sharp example with papers. Now, this guy here, I would also give him the advice. The best advice I can give you is you want to buy a watch. Why are you buying from overseas? I don't know if he's in America or the UK, but my best advice is try and buy one from the same country you were in. Because if you start buying pieces from a different country, man, it becomes a nightmare. It becomes an absolute nightmare. Now, the other thing is here, this is relatively popular model. The black ceramic GMT. Great watch. Personally, if you're in America, I'd be going to David SW. I'd be phoning up and buying it. I wouldn't be looking for the cheapest or going through international. I mean, if you get nabbed with taxes, I can't speak for the state. I don't exactly know where you are, but I mean in my country, if you bring a watch in, you're going to be landed with 10% GST. So this could be, adds considerably to the price. And a common watch like this, there's no real reason to buy it overseas. I think that is ridiculous. As far as is it polished or not polished, what would I say? Look. As I said, if it's as long as it's not over polished to an inch of its life, that's honestly, how would you even, I've seen people falsely polished. It just gets ridiculous. Personally, the only way to know something is truly unpolished is if you buy it brand spanking new yourself. And even then, the AD could have polished it slightly. We don't even know. If they did a good job, you probably wouldn't know, but probably doesn't really matter. Now, I got to be honest with you. The best advice I can tell you is buy something from your own country. You're going to have a lot less hassle. The next thing is if you do buy from another country, like say I wanted to buy a watch from David SW, well, that's okay because he speaks English. Buying from, say, Japan, Italy, or Germany, I mean, my God, you understand where these troubles eventuate from is from miscommunication. Miscommunication, that is the biggest problem you can have. Miscommunication. And what are you going to use? Google Translate? My God, this is getting painful. Very, 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 very painful. Japan, normally, I got to be honest with you, I find, look, this is the other thing. Not every person in Japan is honest but generally speaking, I find a lot of the Japanese sellers to be pretty damn honest. They tend to be very conservative in their descriptions, and they highlight flaws. But that's not to say all of them will do that. I mean, the other problem is the language. You're in a different language, customs and tracking. Oh my God. For a relatively common watch like a black GMT ceramic, man, why would you buy it overseas? That is just asking for trouble. You really are asking for trouble. That's honestly my opinion on that. That is just stupidity. If you're in England, you're better off to deal with an English dealer. That's the best advice I can give you. You've got to be so careful. Got to be careful. So, to be honest with you, you're much better off deal with somebody. I mean, polished without papers. I'd prefer, just a nice, honest piece. Papers box. That's what I really think you're better going to retain more value doing that than getting a supposedly unpolished piece with no papers. Then you've got shipping disasters. Oh my God, this is a nightmare. A nightmare. So, to be completely honest with you there, buy something from your own country. If you're going to deal with foreign sellers, at least deal with a country where they speak your language, unless you speak Japanese. So, yeah, that's really my advice on the matter. Just be careful what you do, because I can just see this being trouble. And it's not that hard. That's not really that rare a watch. It's not really, it's pretty common watch that. So I would just be looking out. And I would, I got to be honest with you, how much more would I pay to deal with a same country dealer? I reckon it's worth $1,000. Okay, I reckon it's worth $1,000 more. And how much for language thing? That's worth at least $500. That's how much I would put on it dealing with someone in your own country who speaks your language. Because if you deal with people, foreign lands, this is where communication disasters happen. So that's my advice for a relatively common watch. It's not that rare. Buy it in your home country with someone who speaks go and check the thing out. If you are this fussy, by all means, check it out, and this is fraught with danger. So that's my advice there. Whether you take it or not, it's up to you, but this is my advice on that matter. So guys, like, subscribe, tell your friends, put some comments below. Remember, I can't survive on Google Ads alone. I need these paid reviews to stay on YouTube. Please get a paid review done. Don't forget, you can sponsor me on Patreon. Guys, I love you all, and I will see you in the next one. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. And who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest, pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW.
Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.